A young woman named Anna and her child Carlos had to leave their dangerous country and ask for protection in the US. After waiting for several months, they could finally be together and begin a new life. Anna and her young son Carlos had to leave their home country to find safety in the United States because things were getting very dangerous there. But things didn't go as planned, and when they tried to get refuge, they were split apart. Anna never gave up hope that they would get back together and start a new life. Anna stopped quickly and held her son close to her leg. As she looked back at a plain building, she slowly asked Carlos to look and pointed at the grey building that said, El Saba Prison. "See that, my son?" she asked. "We're not coming back here." El Saba is a poor Honduran neighborhood where Anna grew up. There is a lot of crime and drug use there. They've always wanted to leave, but they couldn't. Felipe, Anna's brother, sold drugs, which brought a dangerous guy named Juan into their lives. Anna stayed out of trouble. Even though Felipe was bad, Juan was even worse. He was known for killing and being violent. Sadly, Juan went after Anna, asking her out on dates over and over, and even beating her. When she found out she was pregnant, Juan was arrested and demanded that she bring their son to him after the birth. After one visit to Juan in the prison, Anna decided she couldn't expose her son to this danger. When Anna carried out her plan, her heart beat fast and her hands got sweaty. It was the most important choice she had ever made, and it had an effect on both her and Carlos. She packed essential items into a small backpack, put a hat on Carlos, and made sure they had plenty of sunscreen. Felipe stared hard at the counter, feeling a mix of emotions. He turned to Anna, who was carefully folding shirts nearby. He looked worried and spoke about his concerns for her and Carlos, fearing the dangers they might face ahead. Anna, however, stood her ground, showing determination as she explained that leaving was the best choice for their family, especially for Carlos, who deserved a safer and better life away from Juan and his dangerous associates. Memories of Juan and his ominous friends lingered in Anna's mind, and she knew they had to escape to protect their future. Anna called Carlos over while carrying a bag on her back. Her voice was full of hope and love. Young Carlos, who was very interested, quickly joined her and started to ask questions about why they had to leave so quickly. Anna got on her knees and smiled as she tried to make him feel happy and hopeful. She told him that they were going on an adventure to a less dangerous place where they could build a better life. Their love for each other and their desire for a better future made their bond stronger at that moment, and they set out on this brave adventure together. Even though Felipe told them not to, Anna and Carlos left for Mexico and the border with the United States. A guy named Diego was with them. As they walked through the sand with their bags on their back, they were part of a group that shared their hopes for a better future. They all felt like they were baking in the hot sun, which gave them burns on their feet and soaked their clothes with sweat. Carlos moaned about how hot it was, but Anna told him to keep going. They kept walking for hours, even though their faces were red and they were covered in sweat. Each step was harder because the ground was dry and cracked. The sand mounds in the desert seemed to go on forever, and the heat changed the shape of the land. As the sun kept moving, the hot sun kept shining down on them, making them feel more like they were being roasted and draining their energy. Anna and Carlos didn't give up though. They kept going. With each mile they covered, Anna felt a mix of fear and determination. She thought about all the things they had given up, the dangers they had faced, and the hope that had kept them going. She knew she couldn't turn back now. This tough journey was their only chance to escape the violence that they had left behind, especially Juan. As dusk approached in the next few hours, Anna and Carlos got closer to the border, and their worries about immigration grew stronger. They had heard stories about families getting caught and separated, and Anna couldn't bear the thought of being taken away from Carlos. When they reached a dangerous part of the desert, their guide, Diego, signaled for everyone to go low and hide. "Get down," he whispered urgently, motioning for people to crouch down quickly. The vast desert didn't offer much cover, so Anna and Carlos hid behind some small sand dunes and bushes. They waited nervously in silence, their hearts racing with every passing moment. Anna held Carlos close, wrapping her arms around him protectively. She whispered comforting words into his ear to keep him calm. Finally, Diego decided it was safe to continue, and they got closer to the border. They faced their last challenges: tough terrain, barbed wire fences, and surveillance cameras. In the distance, they could see the lights of the border checkpoint. Fear gripped Anna, but she knew they had no other choice but to keep going. They had come too far to turn back now. Anna froze when bright lights suddenly illuminated the whole group. She spun around and stared at the truck in front of them, like a deer caught in the headlights. Panic surged through her. She held Carlos tightly, her protective instincts in high gear. Deep down, Anna knew that running away at this point wasn't the best option. The two officers stepped out of the truck and walked over with a serious expression. Anna's mind raced, trying to find a way out of this nightmare, but there was no escape. They were caught. It was a done deal. "Step away from the child," one of the officers told Anna in a strong voice as he looked at her. Anna grabbed Carlos even tighter and wouldn't let go. "Please, you don't understand," she begged with tears in her eyes. "We're looking for safety. We're running away from the danger and violence." The police didn't listen though. Anna was taken away from Carlos against her will, and she watched in pain as her son was taken away. As they went their separate ways, Carlos's little hand reached out for her. Anna blinked as she slowly woke up. Above her, there was a bright light that usually turns off between 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. She guessed it might be around 5:30. It had been weeks since she last saw Carlos, and the heartbreaking memory of him being taken away from her still haunted her. As the day went on, she kept asking herself, where was Carlos? Did he have other kids with him? How was she going to get in touch with him? She got out of bed and rubbed her eyes looking around. Along the walls was the room with rows of metal beds, each with thin, scratchy covers. The brass frame looked old and scratched. It was hot and heavy in the room, and you could almost feel the fear. There were sad looks on everyone's faces when Anna looked around the room. Others sat alone and thought, while others talked in a small group. In the corner, a woman was crying quietly, and her shoulders were shaking with sadness. Anna looked back up at the light on the ceiling that was flickering. Anna was in deep thought when she heard a voice that brought her back to the present. That's when she looked up and saw Maritza standing there. She was a nice, strong young woman. Anna smiled back, grateful for Maritza's help figuring out the strange world of technology. It was hard for Anna, because she wasn't very good with computers, but Maritza's knowledge made it easy. Maritza used her skilled hands to look through law websites and other resources to find Anna ways to look for asylum and get back to her family. It had been months since Anna got to the immigration center, and Maritza's strong will was clear in how much she wanted to help others. She pointed to a website on the screen and suggested a legal aid group that helped people get refuge and be reunited with their families. Anna saw a chance, and a spark of hope lit up in her eyes. The warm smile and words of Maritza comforted Anna that they were not the only ones going through hard times. They were all trying to start over and get back together with their family. They faced problems with determination and strength. Even though they had problems, Maritza's positive attitude told Anna not to give up when people from different backgrounds or views get in the way. Anna browsed the website, frustrated because she couldn't make any calls due to her empty account. She didn't know how to add money to it. Fortunately, she noticed an option to send an email. She created a new email account and drafted a message. Hello, I'm Ana Morales from Honduras, where I was trying to move with my son. We're escaping danger in our country and our personal lives. My brother was involved in a gang, dealing drugs, and that brought dangerous people into our lives. I had to give my son a better life, but he was taken away from me. I haven't seen him in weeks. Please help me." When she clicked send, her heart raced. Days passed and Anna anxiously checked her email, hoping for a response. The uncertainty weighed on her, so she confided in Maritza about the email she had sent. Maritza comforted her, saying, "Don't lose hope, Anna. Sometimes it takes time for them to reply. You did the right thing by seeking help." As weeks passed, Anna's anxiety grew. She felt hopeless, wondering if her email had been ignored or if anyone would come to her aid. Then, one day when she checked her inbox, she saw a new email notification. Her heart raced as she opened it. The email read, "Anna Morales, we received an email and understand your urgent situation. Our organization helps people like you seeking asylum and family reunification. We're receiving your case and will be in touch soon to discuss the next steps. Thank you for reaching out. Sincerely, the legal aid team." Anna gasped. Tears of relief filled her eyes. She finally felt like they might get some help. Weeks passed with no updates. Anna's heart sank with each day, fearing she might never see Carlos again, or she might be sent back to Honduras. Pushing these thoughts away, she checked her email once more. After what felt like an eternity, she received another email from the legal aid team, saying they would visit the immigration center for an interview. Excitement and nervousness mingled as Anna prepared for the meeting. The day of the interview arrived, and Anna sat anxiously in a small plain room at the immigration center. The room had few furnishings, a simple wooden table, a few chairs, beige walls, and a single window with bars. Anna fidgeted with her hands, her heart pounding, and tried to calm her nerves with deep breaths as she waited for the legal aid team to arrive. At last, the door swung open and two people walked in, introducing themselves as part of the legal aid team, both lawyers. Anna gathered herself, sitting up straight as they took their seats across from her. The lead lawyer began the interview, asking Anna to share her journey and explain why she sought asylum in the United States. Anna recounted her trip from Honduras, the violence she had escaped, and the painful separation from her beloved son Carlos. She made sure to mention Juan and her desire for Carlos to forget him. Her emotions poured out as she described the fear and desperation that had driven her to seek asylum. The lawyers listened closely, taking notes and nodding in understanding. Anna felt relieved that someone was finally taking her story seriously. The interview felt like an eternity, but it eventually concluded. The lawyers assured Anna that they would thoroughly review her case and advocate on her behalf. They promised to do everything possible to help her find a resolution and reunite with her son. After a grueling wait, Anna received the news she had been desperately hoping for. Her asylum application had been approved, allowing her to stay in the United States. The legal aid team successfully presented her case, emphasizing the dangers she faced in Honduras and the need for protection for both her and Carlos. However, the battle was not over yet. While Anna had gained asylum, reuniting with Carlos proved to be complex and challenging. Authorities informed Anna that Carlos had been placed in a shelter for unaccompanied minors, but they couldn't provide specific details about his location. Determined to stay hopeful, Anna worked tirelessly with her legal team and immigration advocates to find her son. They made numerous phone calls, sent emails, and reached out to various organizations for support. Finally, after weeks of relentless effort, Anna received the news she had been praying for. Carlos had been located, and they would be reunited at last. The moment was overwhelming. The legal team helped with the process, and soon enough, Anna stood at the shelter's entrance, her heart racing with anticipation. As the shelter doors opened, Anna saw Carlos standing there, his eyes wide with surprise and uncertainty. But as he recognized his mother, His face lit up with a mix of disbelief and sheer joy. Without hesitation, mother and son rushed into each other's arms, holding each other tightly as if they would never let go. In that special moment, all the pain and difficulties they had faced simply melted away. Anna and Carlos were back together, and nothing else in the world mattered. Carlos looked at his mother with curiosity in his eyes, and Anna assured him that they were safe now, and they would face the future together. With the help of support services and organizations, Anna and Carlos began the process of rebuilding their lives. They found a small apartment they could call home, and Anna enrolled Carlos in school. As days turned into months, Anna continued to work with immigration advocates to ensure their legal status was secure and that they had all the resources they needed. Throughout their journey, Anna discovered that strength wasn't just about surviving on your own, but also about asking for help and accepting support from others. Together, she and Carlos confronted their fears, knowing that their love and connection were the keys to overcoming any challenges that lay ahead. Their journey showed the world the incredible resilience of the human spirit and the incredible power of love and hope, even in the darkest of times. While Anna and Carlos were busy creating their new life, they never forgot the struggles they had faced. But they also never lost sight of the bright future that they had built for themselves. In the end, Anna's journey to asylum was more than just a tale of survival. It was a story of transformation and triumph against all odds. With her son by her side, Anna embraced the promise of a fresh start and the hope of a better future. They were forever grateful for the second chance they had been given.